both sides were using the same clips to promote their narratives. So, like, for example, Trump did this thing about how he doesn't ramble, he weaves.
Yep.
And Kamala's headquarters saw the thing on the video, and they're like, yo, make a video out of that. Look how ridiculous this is. But then Trump's team is also like, yo, make a video out of that. That shit is fire. So the same piece of content was used to support the candidate and to try to trash the candidate.
Was interesting, yeah, because the left would use something like that to say, look, he rambles and he knows he's doing it on purpose. He's an unserious person. But then the right probably uses it to say, look at his sense of humor.
Exactly.
He's humanizing them.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I understand.
I didn't get any of those yet, and I'm sure it's time, but like, oh, he's humanizing, whatever, like, but I just thought, yeah, I mean, it's just...
I got it. I feel like
they all came for
Oh,
Al.
you a sellout, Alex. It's over for you. It's over. It's over.
Al was serious the whole interview. Trump turned to me, you got some good hair on you. And Al immediately was like, oh, thanks, Mr. President.
No. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That's not true.
He said, thanks, Unc. He hit him with an Unc as well.
Come on, son.
You called him Unc?
Come
You
on.
did.
Like, come on.
Because it's
It's
interesting, right?
real
Because
nice
I saw...
to be lied to,
Come
right?
on. Yeah, I know.
It's interesting. You don't know how much of this is real or not. Like, I saw Alice Cooper. She had Vice President Kamala Harris on. And they say she was losing followers. And they say people were upset with her. And she had a backlash.
Feedback wasn't great on that one.
I don't know how true. I mean, but, okay, is it the fact that people are really upset that she just interviewed the vice president?
Yeah.
So it's like the people on the right. Does her audience have that many conservatives that they're just that
I think
disgusted?
she didn't know her audience. I think she doesn't. Maybe she didn't know exactly what her audience was too. And apparently, like she was like copping pleas in the beginning before the interview even started.
No, but just these candidates are divisive.
No,
I lost about 500.
The candidates
And I have a fraction of what she
right.
did.
No, the candidates are.
You lost followers?
Yeah.
for his outfits.
No, as soon as the episode came out, once I posted anything, a clip from the episode, just started dropping just like flies. Yep.
How do I feel about
Really?
this?
Yeah.
I feel like the audience has to grow up.
Yes,
On
dude.
both sides.
Oh my
because
God! Like,
Alex Cooper should be able to interview the vice president.
you gonna say no to the vice president? Like, sorry to cut you. All right, you finish your point because I got
like the Alex Cooper should be able to interview the vice president, and she should be able to interview Trump. These are the two people running for president of the United States of America.
I mean, like, one, I couldn't agree with you more. When we put out the interview, there was conversations. You know, Dove was like, hey, do you want to do a thing where you say, like, in the beginning of this, like, you've reached out to the Kamala team to, and I'm like, why are we asking for forgiveness? Like, why are we explaining ourselves? Like, I don't have to explain myself to want to have a conversation with the Republican nominee for president who was already president. Just like I don't got to explain myself if I want to sit down with Kamala, who is the VP and running for president. Like, you are, in my opinion, if you really actually, one, you care about, let's say you're a very political person and you care about your country, and both candidates are around 50-50, wouldn't you want to have the opportunity to sit down with both of them and tell them what you feel about, what's important to you? And not on some like, hey, I'm going to do a gotcha interview so I could get clout and views, but on a true like, hey, are you listening to me? Like, these are the things I actually care about.
Yeah.
This is why I care about it. And then telling them in a way that they might have like empathy and consideration, even if they disagree and they might think about it. Like, I think that's the responsible thing to do. But
or just do you. Like, here's the thing. I saw Bethany Frankel, right? And salute to Bethany. We can add this clip.
Shout out Bethany.
I saw her going off about how, and you know, I don't know if y'all know, Bethany is the reason that we call this podcast the Brilliant Interview.
You know, I was hanging out with her in the Hamptons.
I saw that.
And I told her.
What did she say? Did she remember that?
She did.
Okay. But Bethany was saying how nobody, like, people don't care about what celebrities think about candidates, right? And I agree. I really, truly do agree. I mean, you might have some people who are influenced by what celebrities think and who celebrities might vote for, but I think she had it a little bit wrong because she was trying to say that nobody cares what Alex Cooper thinks about the vice president. That's where I disagree, and I push back, and I'll tell you why. Alex Cooper isn't your typical celebrity. She's a celebrity who built a platform. She's media, whether you like her or not. Flagrant is media, whether you want it to be or not. So when you see a Donald Trump or a Vice President Kamala Harris and they go to 60 Minutes, which Trump didn't do what Kamala did, or they go to Meet the Press or whatever, any of those serious platforms, when they go to an Alex Cooper or when they go to a Flagrant, they're just going where the audience is. They're meeting people where they are.
You want to know some crazy shit? You want to know why he didn't do 60 Minutes?
Why?
So he could do Flagrant.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what he told me afterwards. He's like, "Hey, I canceled 60 Minutes to do this."
Get the fuck. He lied. No, that's one of those times where he said he basically tells the truth. That
He
was
was basically telling me the truth
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
one. No, he's basically like, listen, like we wanted them to apologize for running with the Russia hoax, and they had to apologize for that, or they had to, I think there was something they won a Pulitzer Prize or something like that for it, and they weren't willing to give it back. I don't know something, but he was like, this
What?
time slot was for 60 Minutes, and it was assigned to you.
Yeah, I thought he said that he didn't want to do 60 Minutes because, I thought I saw somebody say that they didn't really make a formal invite.
No, they invited him. They just wanted an apology. The Trump camp wanted an apology because I think they won some prize for running with the Russia hoax.
Really?
Yeah. That was the one thing that I want to ask him that we didn't get to ask him. Actually, there's a few things that I want to ask him.
What else did you want to ask him?
I just like the Russia hoax. They were saying he was peeing on these Russian women.
I can't. Now, come on.
Now.
That's what I expect Flagrant to
Oh, no,
ask
I
about.
had it.
Okay.
But what I wanted to ask was, did you have to tell your family you weren't? Like, did you have to have a sit down with your family and be like, guys, I'm not peeing on Svetlanos in Moscow.
Yeah, there's no video. Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
so, like, because they lie, they're going to lie about you. They're going to say things about you. I'm sure Kamala has to go through this as well, where they're going to say things. And then she might have to tell her husband and her kid, like, they're going to have to tell their families the truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means saying you didn't urinate on Russian women. And that's just what I want to know, like, what that conversation is. But,
It's out of here, right?
what's that? No, I got you.
All right. Yeah, man, I don't have a problem with it. I knew that y'all was gonna get negative feedback. I know, or backlash, because I saw that happen with Alex Cooper.
But
right?
I haven't felt any real
But you
backlash.
don't give a fuck.
I also don't give a fuck. But and like, but
We've gotten some backlash, just not at this level. But
no,
we've
like
gotten backlash.
the main reaction, like the backlash that Cooper got immediately was like a tidal wave. Like if you bring that interview up with even people who are casuals, they'll go, "Oh yeah, there was a lot of backlash around it."
I wonder if she was shocked.
Maybe. I
Meaning,
also,
like she didn't know her audience was so wildly conservative. But also, I don't know if that's her audience. I think a lot of that shit is just social media, bro.
I think there's a lot of it social media. I think
it's her audience. I think it's her audience because she's not a political show. Like she never has politicians on the show.
So what were they mad at? Were they mad that she had the vice president on?
Mad that she.
So it wasn't a conservative audience mad that they just had Kamala on.
Half the audience is mad that she even had a politician in general because she's like, "Yo, keep this show fun. We don't do that." And then the other half is just like mad that it looks like she's picking a side by having Kamala on.
I mean,
that's why she was copping pleas in the beginning. It's like, you don't need an excuse to interview a presidential nominee.
Yeah.
none.
Nope.
Like,
None.
You should absolutely do. One, you should do, it's validating. I'm not going to lie. Like, us starting a little podcast and then having a president want to come on the podcast is a massively validating moment.
Absolutely. And the thing about the vice president going on Call Her Daddy, right? We do know Call Her Daddy is the #1 podcast for women.
Yep.
Like literally.
Right.
This is a statistical fact. The #1 rated podcast amongst women who has the most women demo is Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yeah.
If you want to go anywhere to have a conversation about reproductive rights and reproductive rights being under attack, if you want to go somewhere and talk about abortion, like that would be the perfect place
Oh yeah,
to go. Very smart move. I love all the media moves. Trump has been doing it.
Yeah.
I think he stepped it up a lot over the last year by going to a lot of these non-traditional platforms. Even though I hate using that word non-traditional because this is the tradition now.
This is relevant.
But this is actually the tradition now. Like the tradition is TV and radio, right? But podcasting
is part of it.
It's legacy at this point. This ain't a niche thing anymore. Like it's not. So for him to go to Logan Paul, for him to go to Theo Vaughn, for him to go to Flagrant, that makes sense to me. For her to go to All the Smoke, for her to go to Call Her Daddy, I haven't seen any other podcasts, but it makes sense to go to those places.
I actually think what would make the most sense for Kamala would be doing male-centric podcasts. I think she's going to win women easy.
Absolutely.
I think you need to do Breakfast Club. I think you need, actually Breakfast Club is probably female. What's your numbers?
It's actually pretty balanced.
So
bullshitting. Yeah.
But Breakfast Club, I think that like she should be on fucking Pat McAfee. Like she should be on
Rogan.
She should be on Flagrant. She should be on these platforms that she doesn't already have the people that in the bag in terms of the voters.
That's right.
You know, yeah, I think also like not so forced. Like with all due respect for Colbert, like it just seems like such a puff piece. It just or what is it called, a puff piece or a fluff piece or whatever like that.
Stop drinking beers too.
Talk to me. What's the deal?
They drink a beer. I'm tired of seeing presidents drink beer.
Take a gun out.
No.
Take a gun out. Put your gun on the table.
So she says she got a Glock on 60 Minutes. No, take a shot of liquor.
Do that.
Or do an edible.
Yes.
Do something like...
Get loose. She can't do an edible.
Yeah.
After locking up all the weed, she can't do it.
Beer?
But even
They
the
were
beer
right.
makes her more relatable than Trump because Trump doesn't drink.
Oh, Trump
He
don't
doesn't?
drink?
No.
So he just retarded. He's just a wild boy.
Let me tell you something.
What you mean? What you mean? Don't tell me that.
That dude is just pure entertainment. You're just sitting there, you do not know the next word that's going to come out of his mouth, and you try to guess, and every time you try to guess, you are wrong, and every time he starts, it's funnier than the last time, and he could key in, like, when he sees you kind of laugh at some shit that he don't even know it's funny yet, he, like, clocks it, and then he'll keep.
Yeah.
Like he started calling the doctors that saved the lives of the people who got shot in Butler. He was like, these country doctors.
It was a celebration of a life, and it was really a MAGA deal.
Yeah.
And he was a big MAGA person. His family was there, and two other people that were very badly hurt were also celebrated. They were very badly hurt. They weren't actually expected to live.
Yeah.
And they lived, and they had incredible doctors. Some of those country doctors are better than the big doctors that we spend a lot of money on, and they don't do as good. I will tell you right now. I don't want to knock anybody, but those country doctors saved two people, because I was told that three would... No, think of that. Three would be in trouble, and three were going to... Now, Corey immediately, but the other two were so bad that they thought they wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
And those country doctors, they pulled them together. They did a great job.
And I said, what? He goes, these country doctors. And he kept hitting country
Oh, the
doctors.
Pennsylvania's country to him.
Yeah. It's better than
If
these
it ain't
city
Philly,
doctors.
it's country.
It's-
If it ain't Philly, it's country as shit. I'm not gonna lie, man.
She needs an interview where she's loose. I think she's looking too protected right now. It's looking too polished, and it needs to be fun.
Well, the difference, here's the thing, man. Even with Obama looks polished and buttoned up compared to Trump. But you know why?
Obama's a better politician than
But Trump's
than
not a
Kamala.
politician.
That's the thing.
Like, he's not a
So
politician.
next to him, she seems so buttoned up. That moment on Oprah where she says, "You come into my house, you're getting shot," was the least buttoned up she seemed.
The moment
And
on Oprah, the heckler thing in Michigan, when she told Trump, Putin will eat your lunch. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
It's like, yo, if that's you,
That's what she is.
So then be it.
Yeah.
Go out on your sword.
I think it's hard.
Right? Like,
I think I know she can do it because we're seeing glimpses of it. But I think it's hard because she's been a politician for so long.
It's that, and also once you taste victory, you're like, let me not fuck this up.
I think playing it too safe can fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's prevent defense.
But also, just think about every single word that comes out of their mouth is a headline.
Who cares?
Trump went on our podcast. I feel like 10 different headlines came from the podcast. People are taking the same line and observing it two different ways. So it's like, if you think about that, it's crazy.
But the powerful thing that I always say is, actually, we always say this shit is just about humor in general. You can say some wild shit. If it makes people laugh, it disarms them completely. Trump had that line on the pod where he goes, they lie about me all the time. It's hard for me to do that to them. You know, he's like, I'm basically truthful.
Yeah.
I have a hard time doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person, but and frankly,
and it was so funny. They're trying to use it against him, but even you are kind of laughing right now. It's so funny that it just disarms you.
Listen, I had a young black man, 20-something years old. I'm not gonna say his name. I should say his name. He comes to me this morning. He turns to me. He goes, Flagrant's gonna get Trump elected. You would know who I'm talking about. You was there?
No, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
He goes, bro, Flagrant's gonna get Trump.
The interview was fire, bro. The interview, and listen, the interview was fire. I don't know what to tell you.
So, Alex, it's over for you, bro.
What
You
did
might
he
as well,
say
like,
who
it's
is-
over.
Do y'all ask who his favorite black person is?
Yes.
Who is it?
I asked who his favorite African American was.
What?
And he said Elon Musk.
Get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up.
No, I said.
Oh. I didn't get to watch this. I didn't get to watch
No,
this.
I said, is Elon Musk your favorite African American?
Oh.
And what do you think?
He just laughs. But that's the thing. He's loose. He's having fun with it. I mean, there's a moment. I mean, there's so many moments where he's just having fun, and that is infectious. He's talking about Elon landing a rocket. He's like, I'm watching the rocket lands on the thing, and I'm like, and my wife came parallel park, and he goes, and then he laughs. He goes, most women can't.
Hilarious. Listen, Trump.
Any other politician would be like, oh, if I say it's going to be a million different headlines and my career is done.
But Trump has less pressure, though.
Yeah.
He has less pressure because he's already been president.
And he's already said
already-
so
already
much
said- I
wild
know.
shit.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like,
He's already said the wild shit. He's already lost.
he's already lost.
So he knows what that experience is.
Yeah.
Kamala hasn't lost. Well, I guess she lost in primaries, but she hasn't lost running for president. And her whole team is like, "You're going to win." It feels if you go online like this is going to happen. So she's like,
yeah.
"Let me not fuck this up."
That's not a good way to.
That
do
is
it.
a horrible
That's
way.
not because I don't. There's nothing about the poll numbers that we're seeing right now that should make anybody feel like she got this in.
Remember those poll numbers with Hillary?
Remember those poll numbers with Hillary, and I keep telling people this campaign feels more Hillary-ish than it does Obama-ish, Obama 08-ish. But I will say the one thing that I see her doing that Hillary wasn't doing, she is not playing around in those battleground states.